Hello, it's CJ Miller. I'm sitting here playing with my Tesla ball. I don't know if it's a plasma ball, and it looks like a Tesla ball, but yay! I don't. Are they the same thing, or is Tesla a different type of electricity? I don't know. Like this is plugged into an AC/DC. Uh, just a wall socket. Uh, and does it convert to Tesla? I don't know. I don't know all that science kind of stuff. Uh, this is a different current, I think, than an alternating current or a direct current. I did a report a zillion years ago on types of electrical currents. Maybe it's about time I do that again. But yeah, no, this is a yeah. Uh, they've each got their benefits. Like this is really great. This type of current, if you don't want to get it around like too many. You don't want it too close to speakers and things like that with magnets and stuff like that. A little okay, but you don't want to take it and go like way up on it. Like you could yeah. You could run interference with radio interference. Depending upon the length of duration and everything. If you Let's see how long it takes my hand to get warm. Supposedly, your hand can get warm. You know what? It is starting to get a little warm right where that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, um, I guess there's benefits for Tesla versus uh, traditional currents. One of them is that this looks fantastic in a science fiction movie. Uh, I don't know. Okay, so it looks trippy as hell, but we've always known that. Another thing, though, is that this is the type of current that gets used in salons when we go and get facials. There's a small electro uh, Tesla kind of thing that they roll over in over your face, or maybe perhaps in other areas. Uh, uh, for electrolysis, not electrolysis. That's different, but it is a type of treatment in facials, and I know this because I was a cosmetologist for a few years before I moved on to other things like I uh, yeah, long story there. One of these days, maybe I'll talk about it candidly in the book. I don't know. Probably not. Nobody wants to read a book about somebody unless they are, you know, somebody like a celebrity or something, and I'm not. So I'd be like, everybody thinks that they want to write a story about their life, and the fact is, every person that I've ever met on this planet has a very interesting life. Very wonderful, very interesting life, and I'd love to hear their stories. And writing uh, is a good way to express and get rid of those little anxieties and small traumas that we all have, that we all carry with us. It's a good way to process that. But I don't necessarily know that everybody's life is going to be uh, and fodder for interesting novelization. I know mine it really is not. I've got like maybe like 1 or 2 years where I've got like some really really kick ass interesting things uh, that I went through. But aside from that, hey, and yeah, it's not really anything to write home about. Although I was doing a lot of writing home. But anyway, Yeah, because I was away from home on the road. So anyway, yeah, this is cool. Um, I find it calming. I find it soothing. Um, Later on tonight, I'm going to do an interesting twist. I've got, um, something that I want to do uh, that's different. Yeah. So we'll see what's up. Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about. I went in. There's a reason for this video. For the last few days, I'll tell you what's up. And I don't want you to think I'm ungrateful. Um, I it's time to get new glasses. So I went in to get new glasses, and they did the prescription, and then the guy there is like, "Oh no, you can't do that." And it's a prism that they want to use, which is something that would like bend the light to work with any sort of blurry or double vision or something like that. Now mine is the result of my left eye is a little bit on the lazy side, but apparently it's a lot on the lazy side. But anyway, the doctor decided, hey, here's you need the prism that is to the degree of 12, which is high because it goes from like, uh, yeah, every whatever, I don't know. So as opposed to what I had last year, which was 2. So I took the prescription in and gave it to them. They prepared the glasses yesterday. I went in and it's like, I can't do this. This is extremely blurry and there's no point of focus. And I went in today and I was like, hey, there's like a small focal point that looks like, see what am I doing here? Yeah. See that little spot where my finger is? That's about the amount of focus that I could get like clear vision. And then the rest of it was just a blur and a mess. And then everything looked trapezoidal with the small end being at the bottom. And it was like, there's no way. No way, no way, no way, no way, no way am I going to accept. And then everything else kind of looked like not high definition like this, but it looked like maybe an image that was being projected on an old fashioned 3rd generation phone. You guys know what I'm talking about, where everything really sucks, like that looks like unreal and almost to the degree of 1980s 3G or 1980s 3D movies where the technology wasn't the same as it is today. Like if you go to see a 3D movie today, everything is like really wonderful and seamless from effects to the writer. But back in the 80s, if you went in, if you just it just basically there were 2 types of 3-dimensional movie technology, and one of them was just not good. One of them wasn't. Uh, and anyway, yeah. This looked like the one that wasn't. Like there was like uh, an off-centeredness to it or whatever. It was, and the reason why is because when the doctor wrote my prism for a 12, or he wanted to write it for a 12, when he went in to put in the information, their computer, their database only accepted a prism of a 10 or lower. So it was so close to being perfect, but it wasn't. But then also, never mind that, the focal point was so horrible and the image was so trapezoidal. And I thought it was maybe the progressive bifocals, and I spent and this was like a different doctor, a different location. But yeah, I spent a couple of hours just kind of like arguing with uh, this Vision for Less in Shreveport, and it's like, wow. And I don't mean to name check them because I was like, But what I ended up doing was using a prescription from last year, which was still valid. My prescription had changed, but but I'm actually seeing just quite well out of those glasses. It's just that they, whatever. Anyway, long story short, they're gonna have to send those off, and then of course I'll have the glasses in about 2 weeks, and so the Prism 10, number 10, level 10, they could not use the ultra high XD or whatever that gives you like a wider vision. So my vision being out here would be normal with those lenses, and it would be wonderful. But with the Prisms, or whatever, they said they couldn't, so they had to use, I don't know, El Cheapo lenses or something. And my focal point is like there with them, and it's like, oh no 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 no, that my vision is too. No, I can't. I'm not going through life. And I know I love some trippy things, but I do not want to live my life walking around as if I'm seeing tracers from an acid trip. I'm not going to do that. That was, somewhat triggering, in that moment. And I was like, I'm not doing it. So, it's just one of those things where if the doctor had actually written it out instead of putting the thing, if he'd have handwritten it, then I would have gotten the perfect precision. Everything would have been okay, except for if it is the fault of the prism why everything was so trapezoidal, like the shape of this, except it would be upside down. I like everybody looked like little short people, and I don't mean to, but I mean, you all look like dwarves or midgets or whatever when I was walking around. And I did that. I walked around for about 20 minutes. And I'm like, I can't do this. And I went back and, whatever. Anyway, so what they did was they reduced the prism from 10 all the way back to 2 so that I could use the ultra high def or whatever it is, the one that would give me the wider field of vision, which I kind of think was kind of BS in the first place. But I think another issue, and I kept arguing and kept telling them, and if I go back in a couple of weeks and if it's the same problem, I'm gonna really let them have it, because what I feel like the progressive bifocal, I think it started way up here when it should have started down here, and they're like, oh no, just look. And I'm like, no. This is, you don't take somebody with my prescription and put them in eyewear that is so far out that, the point of clarity is so far away. And you don't, like, I'm nearsighted anyway, but I'm not going to sacrifice the clarity of my near vision to see something that's way the hell out there. I mean, and then everything up close is like, blurry. I can't, because I don't live my life in the distance. I live my life in the short distance. You know what I mean? I can see down the road and have like hawk vision. That's fine. But you know what? I'm not trying to shoot anybody at 300 yards away. I don't, or whatever. So I'm not, I'm not in the military. I don't need that I don't need that far off, I'd rather, so I think what it is they kind of like, oh yeah, you can see. Yeah. I mean, they, I've got really great vision with the glasses when they're done really well, when they're appropriate. But I think two things. I think, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into that because it's got me tripping. Anyway, that's why I came home and turned on my little Tesla, my little thing because I wanted to calm down and relax. I'm like, ugh. Also, I have been pretty much, before I went to bed, I had one or two of these little bars that I have. I've had one about 1 a.m. and then since then I really haven't eaten anything. Uh, and it's because, hey, you know what? I may as well just turn this into an opportunity to. I mean, I'm already in a grumpy mood anyway. And since I'm already in a grumpy mood, I may as well take advantage of being grumpy and turn that into just being like, you know. And so what I'll do is I will just stay home, chill out, and wait until an appropriate amount of time, probably until after midnight, uh, to eat, and then just turn this into a day of fasting since I'm already pissed off anyway. Why waste negative energy on nothing? Take the negative energy that I'm feeling, the bad mood that I'm feeling. And by the way, I was very sweet to everybody today. I didn't verbally abuse anybody. I didn't threaten anybody. I just simply was like, I had to stand my ground with these people because they kept trying to like have me take the eyeglasses away. And I'm like, and just accept it. And I'm like, I cannot do that. And then I recalled, I was like, let's compare the prescriptions, but also let's look at, and so if you do something with it, if you uh, make some glasses with this prescription that you say is still valid and still good, and then I come back and there's no prisms bending the light, but the bifocals are way up to my eyeballs. No, my even that's not what should happen. Even with the progressive, it shouldn't be like, say, the middle of this ball here. I'll use this. If this is your eyeball and that's your pupil, the center of it, that's not where your progression should happen. You should have great vision. And then maybe down here, your progression should happen. You should have like yeah, no, that's, yeah, they're playing games with me, bro. Because I can't do that. I can't walk around with everybody looking like they're from Middle Earth, and I just can't do it, you know. And then I know this looks trippy, and I love some weird stuff. Yeah, I needed to come home and chill out. I'm CJ Miller. I'm in Shreveport, Louisiana, across the Red River from beautiful Bossier City, Louisiana. I've been talking so much. I don't know if I've invited you to come check out our city. Please do. And if you do, uh, uh, let me know. I'm really a very positive person, and I would love to run around with you and show you some stuff or whatever. If you can't figure out things to do, we've got lots of good stuff to do. As a matter of fact, when I was thinking of this eyewear situation, the morphing that was going on, I was like, and I was deciding that I cannot live my life in that sort of way. Uh, Either based on the fact that the prism was distorting the light, or for some reason they were not letting me have the lenses that would give a wide spectrum for viewing. Whatever the situation was, and I do not know. Uh, it looked like so many analogies. Like I said, that slight offishness that looked like an old school 3D movie. And then the warped effects at the bottom where everything was like trapezoidal, but with the small end down. So kind of, looked weird. And then what happened is there was a funhouse effect as I turned my head up and down. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was like, how things change? It's a question of angles. Well, that was really amplified through these lenses. No, it was just way off. It's like, you know, uh, like the reason for the prism in the first place was to correct the double vision, but um, Yes, there's the double vision, but it's also for me. It's a matter of focus, and if I focus, if I'm really into something, once my eyes get adjusted and focus and everything like that, it's almost as if there's not a double vision. I'm so used to it, and I would rather deal with a two perfectly good visions, that are perfectly crisp, exact definition, everything, all of it. I would rather deal with that than deal with a blurriness that is just the road off. Uh, and it may be as simple as um, my prism that was needed was a 12, and that would have perfectly done the job, but instead he could only do a 10. And whatever, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the problem is, but I know that I wasn't going home with that pair of glasses, not with those lenses in it. So, you know, I don't know. We shall see. And I'll make videos and stuff like that, but I'll premiere the glasses. And I went with the straight up, slightly nerdy kind of a personality driven pair of frames this time. So, yeah, kind of get a little bit away from the tortoise shell that I do so often. Uh, so we'll see. I've also done some wireframes before, but these are different. Okay, so I love you guys, and I will see you soon. Bye.